Hello and welcome. My name is Omechanicum and I'm back again with another review video. I am working on a Let's Talk, so don't worry about that for those who like to get into the deep nitty-gritty of mobile suits. But for today, I'm doing a review and, well, you'll see here, an unboxing, a speed build and a review of the RG Shining Gundam. Another entry into the RG range, which came out last month. This is a sponsored video, and it is sponsored by Gunpla UK. You can pre-order this at Gunpla UK, and it will be released, I think, on the 31st of August. There. I myself, however, got this. I brought this myself. I got this imported. So Gunpla UK had no, what's it called? I forget my words. I'm recording this on my birthday and I just had some cheese, so I'm a bit forgetful today. Had no involvement in me of procuring this Gunpla kit. I can't stop saying So we'll have an unboxing, we'll have a look, and you can go pre-order it at Gunpla UK, and don't forget to use my code OMECHANIC 10% to get 10% off if it still works for pre-orders. If not, it'll have them in stock on the 31st of August. So we'll just have a quick look, see what it's like. I'm a big fan of G-Fighter. A lot of Gundam purists don't like G-Fighter because it's not a real robot anime. Which Gundam was the first to be a real robot anime. G-Fighter is more like a super robot anime. Like Mazinger G and the O, Big O and stuff like that. But I enjoy the series a lot. God Gundam is one of my favourite Gundams. And of course, I couldn't say no to a Shining Gundam, which is his predecessor. So we'll have a look, see what it looks like, how it builds, and all that. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, let's get into it. I've got my knife here. Can't exactly remember who I got this off now. I think I got it imported from an auction. Won it in an auction, Japanese auction. Got it imported, like I do with a lot of my kits. Like the HG Neo Zone I'm currently building. I have the HG 1144 Dendrobium on its way. And thanks to Gunpla UK, I have the Meteor unit with a Freedom Gundam HG to build as well, which I'll be building on stream, on my Monday streams. Yeah, let's get this off here. So I believe I won this. It was a Japanese auction site, but it was a store who was the seller. I can't remember the name of the store, unfortunately. But yeah, so let's have a look. Let's open up the box and see what we got. So straight off the bat, first thing I see is the stickers. And there's a lot of them. So like with previous RGs, including the God Gundam that came out before, and you see there, most of the stickers are internal stickers you can use, you don't need to use them. This I like, this is new, I might keep that for something else. It's not an official sticker, but I like that. And then the rest of them are just marking stickers, which are always cool. So that's something else I just saw that you didn't get in the God Gundam is these wrist joints. So yeah, they've already got hands pre-built on them using the advanced MS joint system. I don't believe a God Gundam came with those. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Then we've got another set of runners here. The panel lining looks amazing, to be fair. So it's going to be really good to panel line. Blues are really nice, a lot of detail on them. And of course, a lot of inner frame. And again, this is what I like that the RGs are moving away from, which I really enjoyed with the 2.0 and the God Gundam RGs, was that the internal frame is no longer one piece like it was with the original RGs, where they were just all multi-part injected into one piece, like the legs and all that, which I do prefer. And we do have some gold parts. They're gold injected, not gold plated, which is nice. Makes it easier to clean up, and I don't think you're going to see much of it anyway, as it's under for most of the armor. That looks really nice. Then we have, more parts. So one of the gimmicks of the Shining Gundam is that the faceplate opens up. There's the faceplate there. That looks really good. It might be something, you want to paint in silver. My light placement is shit. It's below the camera. It should be behind it, but the camera stands can go higher than what my lighting stand can. It's stupid. But that's where we're at. I can't be asked to spend more money on tripods. I've got 5 of the bloody things already. And then we got an advertisement for the Gunpla Builders World Cup 13th tournament. World Championship. Starting on the 31st of August this year, I think. Entries, getting entries together. Again, I don't read Japanese, but they do show for winners from last competition, which I did watch live. They're announcing them. And there were some really good entries for it. I think one of my favourites was the one with the RX-78 being built inside a digital factory. It was made by a Canadian. Really good, really well done. Then we have the instruction manual for RG42 Shining Gundam. Usual fare, most instruction manuals. I like the fact now that Bandai are realizing that more Westerners are getting into this hobby. So the fact that a lot more of the more modern kits now have instructions in both Japanese and English. Good for core landers separate, just like the RG God Gundam. Of course, when I'm doing my evaluation and conclusion and all that, with this one, I'll have the God Gundam out for cabinet next to it to do a comparison. Yeah, it looks quite similar build wise to for God Gundam, which should make sense considering this is a precursor to God Gundam. And of course, there's probably a P-bandai RG kit to go with it. Because I haven't seen a green hand, but the Shining Gundam's movie is the green hand one in super mode. Of course, it goes over weapons as well. It has a standard Vulcan gun that all Gundams come with now in the head. Beam sword, which is unusual because I can't remember if he uses it. A machine gun as well in the left shoulder. Oh, that's cool. They've got shots from the anime to show you the different gimmicks of the kit. That's really cool. So it does include right hand. I just didn't see. Oh, there it is. There's a green. Yeah, I just didn't see it. It is there with the gold. So enamored by the gold, I didn't see. So there's the green. It's when it's in super mode, the green hand. So yeah, so this looks like it's going to be a fun kit. Maybe it's going to look fun to build with. I didn't go over the box, so let's have a quick look at the box. It's the usual fare, the usual start of RG, where they have silhouette, posed and headshot of Gundam. And then one side has the poses, different poses for it. And then the other side shows you off all the gimmicks it has. And I'll probably have it in that stance. There's many different stances. Because it's such a... The God Gundam is quite a flexible Gunpla. RG Gunpla, which it gives you so many different possibilities of poses. And it looks like this is no different. But it's a question of what do I do? That's the question. It'd be interesting. We'll see. I know there's a long gap of silence. I was just reading. Yeah, all right then. That's that done. Let's get into a build, and what you'll see now is a speed build. Oh, enjoy that little speed build. We're now going to go over some of the other features that I've seen. Future Mech will put in some turntable videos of the finished. And by the time I probably do B-roll turntables, it'll be panel lined and have the stickers on. But that is not what's important right now. So what we'll do is we'll go over the build. We'll go over the articulation. We'll go over the aesthetics and my final conclusion. So first things first, the build of this little kit was pretty good. If you've built the RG God Gundam, this is a similar experience. Of course, it's slightly different. It does use the God Gundam parts, or some of the parts of the inner sprue, because again, it is still quite a different mobile fighter. And it was really fun, actually. I enjoyed it. It's pretty simple and easy. I think it took me today, because I've been interrupted so many times and I had other things to do on top of it. So it took me all day today to build it. But if I wasn't stopping, it probably would have taken me 4 to 5 hours. But yeah, and there's plenty of opportunities. Like I've added some silver pen in places, just to make those little areas pop a little. You can see here, I added silver on the legs there, some on the side skirts here. I also put them on the inside here. And it's not everywhere, but it's in places where it helps. So yeah, it's been quite a good little kit. I have enjoyed it. I'm sure you enjoy it too when you get hold of it. There is undergating, which helps a lot. Mainly on white pieces, which is where you don't notice the marks too much. However, was a bit disappointed that a few of the red pieces don't have undergating. There are parts that don't have undergating, and they're going to be visible. So do beware of that. Like there was one here on this here. So even though I didn't need to do much in the way of cleanup using files or sanding brushes and stuff like that, I had to be wary, and I did clean up using my SPN-120 God hands, which do help a lot. I gotta stop saying them. The fuck's sake, anyone hates saying. Oh God, I was trying to stop it. You do have to be wary about when you follow the instructions, because there is a certain way to put things on. If you do not read the instructions properly, you are going to mess up a little. And I have done that, and you probably see in the speed build where I have to take parts apart to help with it. But quite a sturdy build. It builds if you follow the instructions, it builds from feet up, which I think is my preferred way of building Gunpla. A lot of other Gunpla start the head, some start with your arms, but starting from the feet and working my way up is the nicest way, because then I've got parts lying around. They can just stand around freely and out the way, and you can see your progress properly as you build the feet, the legs, the hips, the body, the arms, the head, and then the backpack, which is, yeah, like I said, my preferred way of building it, and not many Gunpla kits do it that way. The joints are good. There's no polycaps, which for most, I can't remember the last RG that really had polycaps. I think for RX 78.1, 1.0 has polycaps. Other than that, not really. It has ABS parts for the major joints instead of plastic. The other plastic are the polycarbonate, which is what some of this is made from. Instructions look pretty easy to follow, though. They're not large. One of the things I like about the instructions is not just for Japanese English, but like if you're an old school builder like myself, some of the instructions you've come across, they will have the older ones would have like descriptions and artworks and stuff of how the Gundam works in the universe and things like that. And like here they have in-universe stuff explaining the Shining Gundam, Domon, the pilot, and the core lander, which is back there, which kind of acts like a core fighter, but it's more of a transport thing on land. And there's other things here, like it explains how the inner frame for the legs works, That's a nice little added touch. It tells you exactly how you're supposed to fit stuff. Because like I said, some parts are really tight, like for legs, going into the hip joints. But it tells you, even at some steps, that it is going to be difficult. Or what if you need to cut extra parts off, or parts you don't need to cut off. Then it explains super mode, which is the main gimmick of this Gundam, where when you see all the panels open up like this, show it on the camera. So it explains super mode and why it opens up, and why these panels are all open like this is, dissipate heat when it's in super mode. But I like the fact it shows you this, and then shows you a different poses you can have it in, different ways. Like, there are 3 modes. You got normal mode, battle mode where it's just a faceplate opens up, and then super mode where everything opens up. And it all does open for face, panel, everything. It's not a separate piece like you would find on some RGs and HGs, even MGs. The face panels do just open. I'll show you in a second. But it all fits together nicely. I would say it is quite frustrating when trying to do the face, the head, especially with all these yellow panels here. I think I might have shaved a little bit too much when removing nub marks on the yellow face parts here, because they're quite loose. You have to be careful when you're building it. For opening faceplate, the eyes and that are not too much of an issue. And there's a lot of detailing in there you won't see. So put a lot of effort into the detailing of the head and the internals of the head. Unless you build it without the armor parts, which you can. There is a QR code here that lets you do that. And some other QR codes here. But yeah, you got to make sure that you got all these 5 pieces. You got 2 of these on either side. Let's see where my fat finger is. Here, we'll do this. So you got 2 of these here on either side. You got this big one here. And you've got to keep all those in place while you put the back of his head on. Which can be difficult, especially when you've got fat fingers like I have. So it might be wise to take your time with it. Also, I like that they've done this where they've shown different parts of the anime with panels opening up on the Shining Gundam and how you recreate it with the RG, especially the Shining Finger attack, which we do have represented by this green hand. He usually used it in his right hand more than his left. But like how the ankle guards switch down to give him more thrust, and how the thrusters in the leg open up as well, so he has more maneuverability. It was designed around Domon's fighting style, so they've done really well there. And it's a really good RG. Some bits are fiddly, some bits are tiny, which comes with RGs. There are 2 very tiny parts. If I can get them on camera. That fit right down the sides here. They're like grey and white. Just there. And if you're not careful, you can easily lose them. So be wary of that when you're building it. Power line goes, as you know, as I said, this will be power lined by the time I edit the video with the B footage. But there's a lot of nice panel lines on here. Unlike some other kits I've seen, even old MG versions of a Shining Gundam, there's nowhere near as much detail as to what this has got. So power line is going to be a nice experience. Same with the stickers. So most RGs, which is a shame, but most RGs come with just stickers. And it'd be nice if it came with decals, to be fair. I will be putting some of these on, not all. And ones I think would be like these Shining Gundam symbols here, Probably some of these, but not all. This G Gundam shiny sticker, which looks amazing, actually goes on the energy blade of one of his beam sabers. Short one, long one. And if you ever watched the opening credits of G Fighter, one of the credits is, one of the scenes is him putting the blade across his face and it says G Fighter across it. And that's what it's there for, to replicate that exact scene, that exact frame. So far, though, from what you see here in the build, I've used one sticker, which is a clear sticker that has, let me get this up. So it's a clear version of this green sticker here. So yeah, so that's not, it wasn't, you know, because it's inside there. And what I did, I used a Gundam marker to put the inside as green, and then I put that sticker on top. I didn't want to put a sticker on there because there's so much detail in there I didn't want to lose. So put a sticker on top, just one of these green stickers, which you can do if you want. You just lose all that detail. So I just used my Ray Studios chrome pen, painted it silver. Oh, or green. In this case, I use a Gundam marker for the green, and this for the silver. So I used the silver on the internals of the head, so you can see it through the eyes a lot better. So it reflects off the eyes. And I painted around the eyes black, because it's just a green piece. But yeah. Alright, let's talk about the articulation of this Gundam. Or this Gunpla, as you will say. I keep saying them again. I've got to stop that. They're so difficult. The articulation is great. Everything moves in the way you want it to move, which makes recreating the poses from the anime so much easier. Just like for God Gundam. God Gundam is very good at it as well. And the balance is well done. I wanted to do like the up leg pose. And then I just put other foot like so. There we go. As you can see, balancing on one foot. Very agile. For joints are stiff, so they hold their pose very well. Just like the God Gundam. Definitely something you can put it into a pose you want it to be in, and it will stay in that pose. No doubt about that. The only issue with posing is the fins on the head. These ones, my ones are a bit loose. So that might be something you need to take into account when building. You might have to I might have to put some sticky stuff or something in between the joints just to stop it from moving if I'm having it in those poses. The fact as well that, where's my toothpick? That the face panel actually opens up as well. So those joints are pretty stiff. So you can recreate for battle mode as well as the super mode without having to swap out faceplates. Is very nice. I like that detail. That joint's good. The neck is doubly good. The way the neck is built, it is very good at coming out further than it needs to. Of course, you'll get turntables, all this from Future Mech. The toes extend like so. So you got more articulation on them, but they still move in there. It's just a really nice kit. And instead of giving you expression hands that some old RGs and MGs came with, they give you multiple fixed hands to do for different expressions with, which I do appreciate. I do prefer fixed hands over the emotion hands, as the emotion hands are kind of shit and break easily. They give you the martial art hand styles. So you can create for different martial arts, as well as 2 saber holding hands for beam sabers. This comes with, as well as a shining finger hand when he does a shining finger. So this is a very well articulated, a lot of stuff to move about on. There are some things I'm a bit iffy on, that are a bit like either too loose or too really small, that you got to be careful with. Especially like the way these are attached. They're attached by very small pegs. So you do have to watch that. But other than that, it's very well made. Very well engineered. Very well thought out of. And I hope they do make more Gundam fighters, mobile fighters, in the future, not just the God Gundam, the Shining Gundam, and the no, they haven't done Master Ages Gundam yet. But yeah, articulation is good, spot on. So the effects of the kit, it looks like the Shining Gundam. The Shining Gundam's got this look I love. From the V fin down to, for just the feet. The feet look fast. It's a beautiful kit. Looks very similar to the anime mobile suit, just like the RG God Gundam does. And again with the RG God Gundam, I love the silhouette. I love the posing. I love the armaments because it is made for close combat. The only issue I have is really the super mode of the head. I was never a big fan of the splaying of the mane, shall we call it? It looks a bit weird to me, really. It always has done ever since I saw it on G Fighter. Because before I watched G Fighter, I only ever known of a God Gundam. I didn't realise at the time that Domon piloted another Gundam called the Shining Gundam until I watched the series. But the God Gundam is my more aesthetically pleasing version of the G Fighter that Domon uses. But other than that, though, this still looks nice. Of course, there'll be more turntable poses and that from Future Mech once I've done the B-roll. But with the combination of the colours, the reds, the whites, the greys, they've done really well at separating the different parts, so it doesn't look boring. So it's not all white and blue. Because I've seen older Shining Gundam kits, and they're not that very diverse in colours, and it's not well split up. So like here you got a big plane of white and some red, but here on like the front skirt you got white, which is broken up by the greys and the silver. And then here in the crotch area you got the grey or darker white with white reds and broken up by the black. Same with the legs. It's not just all white like some older kits have been. It is broken up with greys, whites, reds and blues, which is really nice to see that colour separation. And the fact none of it is sticker based is even better. I don't like sticker colour separation. Plastic colour separation is always better. And the little yellow it does have is very striking. And it's just in the front vents, the 2 machine guns on its shoulder, Vulcan machine guns in its head, the V fins, the super mode fins, and just a little bits of red on the what's it called, for core mobile core transport. I can't remember what it's called now. It's not called a core fighter. It's called a what is it called? Let me just double check it. Just saying here somewhere. The core lander. It's the core lander because it's designed just as transport or a escape device for the fighters of the mobile fighters. It looks really nice with a little bits of red and blue, when you put a little bit of silver down in here, it just breaks it up a little bit more, gives it some more interesting features. It's well thought out, well done. And it does look very similar to the anime colours, which is very nice. Like most Gunpla kits, though, it is a lot more detailed than the anime mobile suit is. So there is a lot more to see than you would normally see. That's not a bad thing. So overall, I think the Shining Gundam from G-Fire is an amazing RG. Overall, there are some little niggles here or there, but you get those with nearly every kit these days. There's never going to be a perfect Gunpla kit. It's just how the game goes. You know, the RG 2.0 was amazing. Don't get me wrong, but there are some little things about it, even I nitpick now. And same with this. But if you are a massive G-Fighter fan and you love your G-Mo fighter, mobile fighters. Sorry, don't call them mobile suits, I call them mobile fighters in G-Fighter. But if you do like that series and you do like the God Gundam, you're going to like the Shining Gundam. Yes, it wasn't the more powerful of the two suits, and it's not the most recognizable of the two suits that Domin has piloted. But it did sacrifice itself to save him and let the God Gundam activate against Master Asia. So it has its redeeming qualities. It became sentient in a way, sacrificing itself. You gotta remember that G-Fire is a super robot anime, not a real robot anime. If you don't know the difference of those, I might explain those one day in another video. But definitely worth the money. It's not that much more expensive than any other RGs that are out there these days. Makes a nice addition to your collection. And because of the articulation and the amount of different poses you can put it in, it's going to look great on your shelf amongst all the other RG and HGs, all 1/144 scale mobile suits. You know, and it's got loads of photo opportunities, especially like taking photos and posing your Gunpla. This is definitely one of those mobile fighters or mobile suits that you want to have to be able to pose. I don't know if they're going to be doing a P-bandai bit for it, because I don't think it needs it. Unlike the God Gundam, the P-bandai upgrade kit came with a horse, which I do have up here, actually. Yeah, so the God Gundam came with this and some other extra features. So yeah, which wasn't too bad because you're basically getting a whole mobile suit. And if you wanted to, you could pose these two together as well. This needs a dust though, being in the window for so long. I think I'll do that as well. There'll be some B-roll footage of the Shining Gundam sitting on top of, I can't remember what this one's called, but it's Master Asia's horse's Gundam fighter. His actual horse pilots this. Weird, eh? That's why I love G-Fire. It's just an odd one. Love it. Buy it. Get it. And while it's at Gunpla UK, use my code OMechanic 10% to get this kit at 10% cheaper. Just remember, it's not in stock until the 31st of August. So pre-order it now if you can. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, slash that like button with a beam saber. If you want to see more reviews like this, or see any more upcoming videos I've got, like how to weather, more Let's Talks, and other Gunpla related stuff, if not Warhammer related stuff, then blast that subscribe button with the beam rifle. And also, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the RG Shining Gundam. Did you manage to import one yourself already, and have you built it? What were your thoughts on it? Or if you're going to get one, Why do you want one? What are you looking forward to from this kit? Also, is G Fighter one of your favorite animes? What are your other favorite animes from the Gundam universe that you like? And what other kits that are out there or coming out would you like me to review? If so, just leave a comment below, like a colony. Or drop a comment. Fuck. Drop a comment. Fuck. Drop a comment like a colony below. Fuck me, I fucked that one up, didn't I, boys? Right. So yeah, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Don't forget, Mondays I do live stream, so I hope to see you there to see what I'm building next. And remember, knowledge is power. Bye now.